Welcome one and all to Umami Manga. I'm Petter, and this is James.
Hello!
And today we're talking about volume 29 of Jujutsu Kaisen. That is the second to last volume of the entire series. So things are getting exciting. And this volume starts off with Miguel and LaRue fighting Sukuna.
hmm
Soon Yuji, Choso, and Maki also join the fray. Yuji Itadori awakens amidst a shower of black sparks. Choso ends up shielding Yuji from one of Sukuna's ultimate attacks, and thus Choso died protecting his little brother. Things were looking kind of bad, but then Yuji's other brother, Todo, entered the fight, now with an upgraded Boogie Woogie. Then, the mad lad Yuta, using Kenjaku's curse technique, arrived inside Gojo's body. Crazy stuff. And while Yuta eventually kind of seems to lose control of Gojo's body, falling to the ground, Yuji and Todo continued fighting Sukuna, and the volume ends with Kurusu firing Jacob's ladder. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
This was a crazy volume.
Yeah.
Like, all of it, pretty much.
Yeah. It's just one crazy thing after the other.
Yeah.
I'm glad the fight is bringing back so many characters and having peak moments.
Uh-huh.
I know in the past I've said that I wish, Yuji was, if he's supposed to be the main character, he should be kind of taking over the fight and living up to main character status.
Mm-hmm.
But, this has been good too. And yeah, he awakens, but really it's everyone else around, like, just working together to just pulling new tricks out of their out of their hat, one after the other, that's making it this awesome. And so I kind of, I guess, I've revised my expectations and desires a little bit.
That's fair. I will say though that I do think that this volume made Yuji more exciting than he has been.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree. I agree.
although yes, there were other things that also were very very hyped and very very just
hmm
yeah crazy. That wasn't from him,
Yeah,
but still. Yeah. Actually, why don't we just go ahead and talk about Yuji Itadori?
sure. Let's do it.
So yeah, this volume, it established that Sukuna ate his twin brother in the womb, and that his twin's soul later was reborn, and that Kenjaku mated with it.
hmm
However, there was a bonus page in the physical volume that clarified a thing about this. Because just reading the chapter, it sounded like the twin's soul was in Yuji's father,
Yeah.
but it wasn't in his father, it was in Yuji's grandfather.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So Yuji's grandfather had Sukuna's twin's soul.
What?
So it's a bit confusing. Do they mean that? Well, they obviously meant that Kenjaku and Yuji's father mated.
I
Because
mean, I mean,
Kenjaku is the mother of Yuji. But then she didn't, or he or she, whatever, technically didn't do it with Kenjaku's, or sorry, with Sukuna's twin's soul, but with the son of Sukuna's twin's soul. So it's a bit weird. I don't know why they said that,
yeah.
but
Because honestly, I was following it. Well, I mean, yeah, it sounded ridiculous, but I followed it.
yeah.
What he was saying.
Uh-huh.
Well, there was one part where I was kind of lost. It's like, okay, whatever. But the but the part about him having a twin that he consumed and that reincarnated, and then Kinchaka mated with it. Like, okay,
Mhm.
I can follow that.
Yeah.
And I assumed it was Yuji's father. But then throwing this whole wrench with the grandfather. It's
Yeah.
like, you, it just kind of makes it now more convoluted than it needs to be.
Honestly, yeah.
I will say that Grandpa coming in back into the story in this way, like having some sort of relevance, that I can deal with that because we haven't really seen much of him. Maybe when Kenjaku was revealed to be Yuji's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we may have saw like a panel or two of him.
Yeah,
But
because
other
I
than
think he
that,
was
like Grandpa's
criticizing
been in the
her, and
right,
like, yeah, he didn't want his son to like associate with her.
right, and so yeah, there. Well, basically, what I'm saying is we haven't had much of him, and so having him back, I guess it's good, and because it felt when we first heard him talking to Yuji, you know, warning him or what have you, it felt like he knew about maybe the curse world
Yeah.
and what kind of danger he could be getting himself into. And it almost implied, I mean, in typical shonen fashion, it implied that maybe the grandpa had a history with all that. 29 volumes later, maybe it doesn't feel that way anymore. But with this revelation, I don't know. It's like maybe he knew more. I don't know. Anyway, I guess
Yeah.
I'm just trying to process this
Yeah,
because
fair.
one other thing I'll say is that the disturbing thing that this could potentially imply is that Kenchaku and the grandpa did something. Like Yuji's father is actually not his father; it's his brother.
No.
That can't be it.
No.
It's too stupid.
I mean, although that's a fair thing to point out because it does kind of make it sound that way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, why would you?
Oof.
I don't know. It makes sense in his head, I'm sure, and maybe there people who are listening to this would disagree with me, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just an added layer of context that didn't need to be there.
Right.
Hmm.
Oof.
Okay, all
Either
right. Let's
way,
move on. I'm
though,
sorry. Yeah.
no, it's all right. Regardless, this does kind of, however we're supposed to view this, it does kind of like have like this connection to Sukuna, whatever it is exactly, is what makes Yuji so special. And
Right.
these black flashes that we saw in this volume seem to have been what helped Yuji achieve his potential and awaken the way he did. And
Mm-hmm.
and now supposedly Yuji should have the same potential as Sukuna and like to equal Sukuna, which is exciting. And like that whole part of this volume, I thought was really hype for Yuji and
Yeah.
like to elevate him as a character.
Yeah, for sure. It answers the question from the very beginning. Why was Yuji so abnormally strong even before taking the Kinjaku finger, supposedly?
Yeah.
But I did want to hear your thoughts though. This is the part that confused me is when Skuna's talking about. So let me get to it because I wasn't sure if it implied that Skuna was already in Yuji and it just took the finger to manifest
Right.
him.
Yeah, I think I know.
Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it seemed to me, and maybe this had been established earlier, but like, because something I've heard from some fans who read is that
Uh huh.
the physical or official releases, official translations, sometimes are poorly translated. Is
Yeah.
something I've heard from some people that there are certain fan translations supposedly that are better translations. So that's a shame
Mm-hmm.
to hear
Mm-hmm.
about that
No doubt.
for sure. And so I wonder if because of potential poor translations in the official translations here, maybe it's something that we've missed. I kind of got the feeling that it could have been that. Either way, um, that maybe it's already been established at some point that Yuji was always kind of destined to awaken as Sukuna, or like Sukuna, like the same way all of these other sorcerers in present day,
Right.
old sorcerers woke up in their bodies. So I kind of saw it as that was always meant for Yuji's body to have Sukuna awaken in him, but then it happened prematurely because he ate the finger. And
Mm.
that whole thing, and also that he was able to suppress Sukuna was kind of, I guess, a curveball for Sukuna. Like he didn't expect that. I suppose.
Yeah, because yeah, it's the line where he says that he was born as a player in the Culling game.
Right.
So it makes sense that basically his original role was just to be a vessel for Skuna to come back
Mm-hmm.
in the Culling game. And things just sped up or progressed further with him getting the curse objects. So that maybe
Yeah.
that part wasn't part of Kenjaku's plan, I guess.
Right. I
Maybe.
kind of get
Or it
that
was, I don't
feeling.
know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I guess it also obviously explains why Yuji was able to eat the finger without dying, because supposedly almost anyone else would have died. Um,
Mm-hmm.
although Megumi didn't die either, so I guess that's a bit strange.
Mm.
But I don't know. It at least it explains a couple of things about Yuji.
But Kenjaku was collecting fingers, or at the very least, like he had some fingers, right?
I think
Like
so.
didn't
Yes, because
I thought so?
Jogo had held on to them, right? Or or
Yeah,
I can't
or so.
fully remember.
Yeah. It's been sorry, forgive us.
Yeah.
It's been a while. We're maybe not as fresh in our minds as it has been in the past.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think this shows the source of Yuji's strength. I don't know. I'm not sure if other vessels have manifested this kind of strength beforehand. You know,
Right. It's hard to know.
before the culling games or getting a curse object or what have you. But either way,
Mm.
I guess it did for Yuji, and maybe that's just because how powerful um, Skuna is.
Right. I feel
But
like that would make sense if he's a special case with it kind of
yeah,
appearing much clearer for Yuji than maybe for others, just because
mm-hmm,
Sukuna is the strongest sorcerer in history.
mm-hmm,
But yeah, we also learn how Yuji, now that he's controlling his body himself, he is still able to do certain things that he kind of learned from Sukuna having controlled his body before. It's kind of
mm-hmm,
like how his body memorized certain moves, and now Yuji is able to do it kind of the same way Sukuna did.
mm-hmm.
And similarly, something they also kind of flash back to here in this volume is how Yuji, as well as some of the other characters as well, they use Ui's replacement thingy to train in each other's bodies. It seemed like we didn't get to see it really in practice much,
Right.
but they were talking about it, and through that, I guess Yuji was also able to learn some moves from some of the other characters who kind of performed those moves in Yuji's body so that he could learn them. That was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of training that happened in between some of the quiet moments.
Yeah.
Um, when we like fast forward to the Gojo Skuna fight, there was a lot of preparation happening,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
Good to know. they
Definitely.
they didn't rest all of their laurels or cards on Gojo.
Yeah, no, for sure. It almost even seemed like they were sort of counting on him dying, or at least partially.
Yeah, they
So it's
it wouldn't be the greatest feeling for Gojo to see everybody preparing like as if he's gonna die, but
yeah.
maybe he's like, I respect it.
Yeah. Gotta be ready for anything.
Yeah.
But anything else on Yuji?
Had he used the blood piercing technique before? Was that in the previous volume, or was this the first time
I think this was the
that
first time we
he
saw
actually used
it.
it?
And I assume that
Yeah.
was,
So that was
or well, we saw him training for it, and that was not with the replacement training, or that was he learned it from what's his name, Kamo,
Choso. Oh, it's Kamo. Yeah,
or
Choso tried
well,
to teach him.
Choso tried to teach him, but didn't really work so well.
Yeah, but yeah, good memory. Yeah, I think his name is Kamo.
Mm,
But yeah, I don't know. That was just kind of cool because I guess in reality is he has that family blood in him. I guess,
yeah,
or
right.
like yeah,
He is a death painting womb
I
in a sense.
in it yeah. Yeah.
Oh, not really, but sort of. He's related to
Right.
them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my notes were kind of going into how Yuji is his nephew. uh, is Guna's nephew, but I guess it'd be great nephew, or I guess he could still be a nephew.
Yeah.
Um, but I was just yeah, it was just interesting. Like, why would the the twin have that same kind of power, or I guess I should say, be identical? Because
Yeah.
in reality, identical twins don't share the same genetic makeup, as far as I understand. Like, they're not. And correct me if this is wrong, but they're not like actual carbon copies of each other. Like, there's differences even between identical twins.
I mean, I don't know well enough to, I think, make a statement on that. But I mean, but here they're talking about the souls, and obviously that's pretty supernatural.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's hard to know. Like, one would think that the
Mm-hmm.
souls wouldn't be identical, even if their genetic
That's true
makeup,
too.
even if it would be identical genetically, the souls probably wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
But he did kind of view the twin's soul as his other half, or he kind of
Right.
described it
Yeah.
that
He said
way.
he said it that way.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. It's
And
interesting.
I guess, well, actually, with Maki and Mai, they didn't they have like some kind of a supernatural connection as well?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I guess in the Jujutsu world, there is a specific thing, but with twins. There was
Yeah.
even something, right? Because some like bad omen. It's a bad omen with twins. I think someone said at some point, right?
You're right. It's a bet. Not just that, but in Maki and Mai's case, Mai was basically holding Maki back
Right.
from, I guess, I forget some of her powers, or what. I forget the
Yeah.
details. Like, there's all this beautiful vocabulary that I just can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but maybe Skuna avoided that because he, well, devoured his other half.
Precisely. He never had anyone to hold him back. Yeah.
Yeah, in the Jujutsu world, it's it's not that twins are two separate beings. In the womb, they are like two halves
Right.
instead of two complete wholes.
That does make it
That's interesting.
really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, reincarnated other half. Very interesting. I'm
Very.
still reeling over the grandpa thing. So, but let's just move on.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, next character. Let's talk a bit about Yuta Okkotsu. So this guy, completely ready to abandon his humanity in order to bring Sukuna down, using Kinjaku's curse technique to swap his brain into Gojo's body. It's
Oh my
such a crazy
gosh.
thing to do, and I love it. It's very fun, but it's so crazy.
Hmm.
uh,
He's putting everything out there, like leaving nothing to chance.
yeah.
Let's just put all of the cool abilities that I've created throughout the show or throughout the manga and into this final fight, and I respect him for it. And
Yeah.
we're getting so many details about some of these abilities that maybe we didn't know completely. Particularly copy. Like, copy, we really went into detail about what it does and maybe some of the true abilities that we didn't understand before.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was definitely the piece of resistance, or whatever the French term is. Uh, it was truly a hype moment when the fog lifted,
Yeah.
and the hair moved up, and you saw
It's
the
so,
scar marks
oh my
on his
gosh.
forehead.
Yeah, I squealed. Like, it was so, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's probably
Oh,
honestly the craziest thing in the whole manga for me.
yeah. No,
Just
I
seeing that.
agree. Yeah. Did you think
Oh
for
my god.
any moment that Gojo could have come back somehow?
I don't really know. I didn't really have much time to process it.
Right.
Um, obviously, but yeah, no,
It was the next chapter, but it's such an easy page flip,
Yeah, yeah, it really was. Yeah, I don't remember thinking too much in those ways, but yeah, regardless, I was floored seeing it.
Yeah, when the true reveal happened. Yeah.
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 My gosh. I
Yeah.
feel terrible for Rika.
Oh gosh, that was rough to see
Yeah.
her crying.
Mm-hmm. And Maki is also understandably worried for Yuta.
Yeah. She was totally against it. I was
Yeah.
like, "No, we're not doing that."
Uh-huh. And so yeah, I guess she and Rika are a little bit in the same boat.
Yeah. Uh I mean, I don't know what happens to Utah, but I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty big win for the Maki Utah shippers.
Yes.
As long as Utah survives this.
He needs to.
I don't know.
He's gotta
Could you
somehow.
imagine if he just lives the rest of his life in Kojo's body?
I know, yeah. I thought about that. That would be whack.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, the implications of that is you have a nerfed, incredibly nerfed Gojo, and basically Utah and Nika are totally gone.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
man, that I guess we'll see. I mean, it's the final volume,
Yep,
technically speaking.
right.
Next one, so
We'll get our answers.
yeah,
Anything more there?
yeah. I really like how he said, "I'll be the monster."
Mm-hmm.
He really took Gojo's example and his sacrifice and pitied him in that way. And maybe that's just something that only the incredible few can truly understand. That that kind of feeling of loneliness, um, being so strong that you have to protect others in this way. And so yeah, I'll be the monster. Um, the other thing I wanted to bring up was the crazy secondary power that comes with the clone ability, or the copy ability, I should say.
Right.
In that the source ability that is cloned, it becomes almost undetectable.
Right.
Basically, you're less aware of its existence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I thought that was a really cool piece of it, because for the most part, I'd almost assumed that he was completely removing the power. Maybe I was still unsure if that was what's happening, but it was cool that we waited this long to realize, or to fully get revealed that no, it's the original is still there. You just can't tell.
Right. Yeah, that is interesting.
And yeah, that's all I have in Utah.
All right. Then I want to shout out Aoi Todo, my brother, a little bit.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I had almost like started to lose hope that he would like come back in any
Mm-hmm.
meaningful way again. So I
Mm-hmm.
was stoked to see him, and seeing Boogie Woogie revised was also like such a fun and creative way to like solve the clapping problem. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was so much fun. And like yeah, it was really an upgrade. Like the way he could utilize that was fantastic. And this is something I'm so stoked to see animated. Once the anime gets there, it's gonna be awesome.
Uh-huh. He finally came back.
Hmm.
I will admit that the look of his instrument is a little goofy looking, but
Yeah.
with a name like Boogie Woogie
Uh-huh.
and just the persona that is Toto, it fit. I mean, fits maybe not the
Yeah.
right
I think
word,
it suits him.
but
Like
it suits. Yes, it suits him. So yeah, it was such a great ability. I mean, it's such a great combo with him and Yuji. Um, like even Skuna
Mm.
can't really predict it very well.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
It's amazing.
Unfortunately, it looks like he used the last bit, or the last piece of the instrument to summon the angel here. But
Oh, I didn't notice that.
yeah, I mean, I think he said that. I think I'll double check real quick.
You're probably right.
No, I think I think I misread it.
Okay.
I mean, it could be, I guess, but there's no. Oh no, yeah, never mind. It did break. Aha, I see it. It broke.
Wait,
Yep.
where?
When he says Toto's curse technique range has broadened due to a binding vow.
Oh, yes,
You can
yes,
see that
yes.
that it broke.
Right, it's right there.
Yeah.
It was kind of,
Whew.
yeah, right behind the text there.
Almost gaslit myself.
No, but that's a good catch. All right. Well, he played his part.
He did. He played it very well. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it really sucks that he's in this state. Maybe it made him stronger, I guess. All the binding vows he did and stuff, but it's a shame that he didn't. He's so, I guess, beat up still, but he made it work,
Oh, yes.
and he showed that you don't need two arms to boogie.
Hey, yeah. Fantastic. Well, do you want to talk a bit about Miguel?
Yeah, just pretty briefly. Although I really liked Miguel in this.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to have him back. And we got a little flashback, or some context to why they were there. And then just his line, it's kind of funny, but also yeah, it's true. I'm not special because I'm black. I'm just me.
Yeah.
He's incredibly athletic, and yeah, he has the build he does, but that's not why he's special. He's special because he is Miguel.
Exactly. I like that.
I appreciate that attitude.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't. I don't think he's one of the greatest sorcerers in this world, but it certainly was important for at the time, and he got the job done.
Absolutely. I also, even though like I don't really have much to say about him, but I do want to talk, I guess, or at the very least mention Choso and his sacrifice.
Oh yeah,
And like,
yeah.
cause like I don't know,
He's
yeah,
dead.
he's dead. Unfortunately, he was one of my favorite characters, and
Yeah.
like his part in this volume in itself didn't, I guess, make me have a lot like too much to say about him necessarily, but I do think he had a good send off. Like I think it was
Yeah.
well,
It
for
was
one,
good.
he
Yeah.
saved Yuji, like shielded him, and that was a good deed. And then the whole like thing where we saw his brothers and everything, I thought that was pretty beautiful.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Absolutely. It, the the kind of mind imagination palace, where they go into the field with the table or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a nice callback to previous moments like that, or
Hmm.
at least was there only one other moment? I can't. I know they
Yeah.
had that imagination,
Yeah, in the Shibuya incident arc,
right?
there was, yeah.
So that was, yeah, a great callback for that.
Hmm.
I would have loved for him to keep going, but I think this was very fitting for him in that way,
Yeah.
because he's always wanted to be a good big brother, and protecting your little brother is one of the greatest things a big brother can do.
Hmm. Yeah, it was really fitting for his character, and to be honest, I wasn't like surprised that he died. Like it was kind of expected
Yeah,
that he
not
would,
really.
because like I mean he has like
Yeah.
a shady past kind of and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, how does someone like him live in a world going forward? I mean, maybe they'd find a way, but anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Very well. Do you want to talk about any other characters?
No, I think that's all of them.
That's all of them. Very well. Then let's head on into predictions. And this will be our final chance to predict anything for Jujutsu Kaisen. So yeah, time to I guess predict as much as we can this one last time.
Right. Sure.
So, well, I'll kick it off by saying that I have a feeling that Jacob's ladder that we see being fired at the end of this volume, I don't think it will have as much of a good effect as we might hope that it will. Because I
Hmm.
feel like that would be too simple.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know,
Fair. Fair.
because we have like an entire volume left.
Right.
And for it to start off with, I mean, because supposedly Jacob's ladder should be like really effective on Sukuna, right?
Yes.
I think. And so if it is, then it would almost like end the conflict immediately in the next volume. And so basically that's one of my predictions, is that I don't think Jacob's ladder will have the desired effect quite.
Yeah, I'm my thought is that Jacob's ladder is mainly to get Megami out of there, or separate the two. And so I don't think the battle would end if Jacob's ladder is effective. That said, I kind of agree with you now that you say it, that maybe that would be still too easy, even though they've been struggling almost the entire fight to to wake up Megami.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that maybe that would be too easy to get him out. Although if it happens, I wouldn't be upset.
Mm.
But I feel like there still has to be that reawakening or revitalizing of Megami
Yeah.
before he completely separates. Because last time we heard from him, he just basically just leave me alone.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to live in this world anymore, or whatever. He's
Yeah.
very much, in the pits of despair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe part of Jacob's ladder will raise his spirits. I forget her name, but basically, the girl who is being possessed by an angel,
Yeah, Kurisu, I think.
Kurusu. Maybe she'll have some sort of touching monologue to get him up. Or maybe it'd be Yuji. I mean, it'd probably be more fitting if it's Yuji, but it's
Yeah.
her power, so.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure, or rather, I can't quite remember if her ability was that, or if it was like to kill Sukuna. I I kind of feel like it was to kill Sukuna, and that she wanted to do that, but they wanted to not have Yuji be killed with him.
The ability is to basically cancel curse technique, right?
Is that it?
I believe so, because that's what they did with Gojo. Like they canceled the spear, or something. I actually can't completely remember. The cube. No, it wasn't a spear. It was a cube. Um.
Mm,
Oh gosh.
yeah,
But
I'm
they
so
but they use
sorry.
Jacob ladders on the cube, I believe. Yeah. Well, I'm apologizing to people who are reading and just like yelling, like,
Yeah.
no, that's not how it worked. Um.
Yeah.
But I think her goal was to initially find Yuji, separate Sukuna from Yuji, and therefore kill him. I think, or maybe it was just to kill. Maybe you don't separate them. Maybe it was just to kill.
My memory is that she would just want to kill Sukuna regardless of who the body was, like,
But
but
would
yeah,
Jacob's ladder do that?
I don't know. I can't claim to know anything here. I'm so sorry.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, we'll find out in the next volume.
yeah, we will. And regardless, as I said, I don't think Jacob's Ladder here will do
Yeah,
a
I
whole
I agree with you
lot.
100%.
Mm,
Hmm. Well, okay. I agree with you that whatever Jacob Ladders does, it's not going to KO Skuna,
hmm
or even cripple him so horribly that Yuji just stands over him and just pathetic and punches him. Like, no, that's not going to happen.
uh-huh.
Maybe yet.
Uh-huh.
There has to be something. But my prediction is that, yeah, Megumi is gonna come out,
Mm,
whether it be Jacob Ladder or what have you. Megumi's gonna come out and then help Yuji to finally defeat Skuna.
I see.
That's my
Yeah.
prediction.
I think that I agree. Definitely Megumi will be saved, I think. And I think he will be saved primarily from Yuji and his like his the way his punches works. Like he will be able to separate Megumi's and Sukuna's souls through
Mm-hmm.
his punches, because he kind of has that ability. And so I think Yuji will
Mm-hmm.
be the one to be successful in doing that. And so Megumi will be saved and he will come back. And I think in saving Megumi, in that process, Yuji will take on Sukuna's soul instead. So I think Sukuna will be back in Yuji's body because he will have to, I guess, go somewhere if he doesn't have Megumi's body anymore. I assume. And so I think that is when Yuji will make the big sacrifice that I feel like was established in Volume 1, where he will make sure he has 100% of Sukuna within him, and he will kill himself, or like somehow he will make himself die, and thus eradicating Sukuna. He will be surrounded by friends as he dies, and get that whole thing from Volume 1 fulfilled, and Sukuna will be forever gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that Yuji would do.
Yeah.
I just don't see Yuji dying. I don't see that being the end game.
I think it would be kind of beautiful in some poetic way.
I wouldn't be upset. Don't get me wrong. And again, I think Yuji would be 100% willing to do it based on his previous actions. But I just don't think that's how he wants to end it. How they want to end the story. But that's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. This is not one thing where I'm gonna hate it if that happens. Absolutely not. If it happens that way, I think I'll, especially depending on how it's done, I think I'll find that beautiful. I've definitely come to enjoy bittersweet endings more as time has gone on. I'm reading into Jacob's Ladder. It says any curse bathed in the light of Jacob's Ladder will be extinguished without prejudice, including special grade curse objects.
Okay, so it should kill Sukuna by that description.
Yeah, such as Sukuna and Prison Realm.
Yeah.
So it worked. Yeah.
Right.
Which was the cube. So, okay.
Right.
But yeah.
So with that, so the expected outcome of this is that Sukuna should die here, but he can't, I feel like.
I guess so. I agree. Yeah, he can't. He can't. I thought it was just merely separating the two, but I guess it is just totally eradicating him. That said, I think that Jacob's Ladder will separate the two, but it won't be able to extinguish Sukuna for some reason. Because I just think that Megumi is going to get out somehow.
Yeah, I just think that will be through Yuji's actions and not through Jacob's Ladder.
Well, I think he's already been doing it. He's already been kind of lodging him loose,
Yeah.
But maybe, yeah, Yuji's the one that needs to finish the job, maybe. Other prediction I have, Yuta will live somehow.
I agree.
And I just think, I don't know. Maybe if he wants to do it this way, have him stay with Gojo's body, I guess. But to me, it would be such a shame to Zero, and that story and Nika and everything that happened there if Yuta's completely gone and or basically out of his body for the rest of history. So I don't know. I feel like that he's got to be back in his body.
Gotcha. And I like that, but I don't know. I am with you that I think he will live. I'm just really torn if it's gonna be in Gojo's body or in its own body. I think though, no, I'm actually gonna lean more toward your thing there that it'll be in his own body, because the way we see, or that we see him in Gojo's body right now, he can't control the body currently, and if that's how it's gonna continue, then I mean that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think somehow maybe through like maybe Rika will somehow be able to help get him back into his body, and like Shoko and like some people.
Yeah, I mean they seem to have a pretty extensive medical team there. Well, I shouldn't say extensive. They have an interesting medical team there. I'm sure it will work out. Yeah, what's his name? I didn't realize he produced stuff with sugar.
Yeah, I didn't realize
that was before
that either. Yeah,
but
that was fun.
Yeah, that was kind of a fun way to bring him back into it. Any other predictions?
I want to ask you what you think is
Hmm.
gonna happen to Uraume.
Well, I don't think she would want to continue living. That's for sure. Yeah, I wonder if she's gonna be defeated or if she's just gonna give up.
Yeah, because we've seen less fighting, like less action on the Uraume front than I would have expected at this point.
Hmm.
Because we just see Uraume and Kinji just kind of stalling or kind of talking.
They're just
Like they're not.
they're just kind of watching,
Yeah.
spectating.
Which wasn't what I expected. I thought they would have like a big fight, but I guess not. So I guess it's hard to know. Regardless, somehow I think Uraume will be dead by the end of the story.
Yeah, I don't see her continuing on.
Mm-hmm.
And how whatever form that takes, I feel like there's some closure. Maybe not closure, but I think Sukuna is gonna realize something as he's dying. And it's gonna be about Uraume
Oh yeah,
or something to that point.
that could be nice.
I think, yeah, I think there'd be something there.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else. Are there any other characters that have we haven't seen yet that need to come back?
Hmm. None that I can think of the top of my head.
Well, okay, Nobara. I think it'd be nice if like she's on a medical bed,
What?
like maybe she wakes up and sees Megumi and Yuji, if
Oh,
she can
that.
see. Does she? I guess she has one eye, right?
She should have
Maybe.
one eye if she is alive. Yeah, that would be sweet. That would be sweet. Almost. I don't want to get my hopes
Maybe
up
too sweet.
about that.
Maybe
I would
too.
like
Maybe
that
too
though,
sweet.
honestly. Like I'm not
Yeah.
all like usually I'm not like one to like appreciate those like kind of take backs. Like you kind of take back like a presumed death and like oh
Right.
it turns out they wasn't
Right.
alive or they're back alive or whatever. Like, usually I don't like that, but actually I would
Mm-hmm.
probably like it if she would turn out to be alive.
Well, because our issue this whole time was that we kind of felt that she's been done dirty.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
that Yuji's not thinking about her much, and whatever stuff we've said, and so maybe this would be a nice way to give her a finale when she was taken away so dramatically.
Yeah.
Um, Although I stand by liking her, that flashback that we had of her and kind of giving more of who she was.
Yeah.
Um, I just didn't expect. Well, I didn't expect her to die,
No.
and then be like completely gone from the rest of the story. Not even giving like a funeral if she's for sure dead. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Right. Yeah.
I guess it's kind of odd, but maybe he's saving it for this final reunion with the three.
Man, don't give me hope.
Well, I mean, are there any other because it feels like he's bringing
Hmm.
everybody into it. We got Toto
Hmm.
back. We
Yeah.
got Miguel and
Hmm.
LaRue. I forget.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I mean, trying to think of is there anybody. Well, I would say Tada or gosh, what's his name? The joke guy,
Takaba.
Tagaba. I would say Tagaba, but I think we've come to terms with his death.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta. And he had a fantastic, fantastic end.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
absolutely, absolutely. Mahito, Mahito comes back.
No, never. Never
Never,
again.
never.
He's not
Yuji
allowed.
would lose his mind
Oh my gosh,
if
yeah.
Mahito came back somehow.
Oh my gosh. I mean, technically he should be able to come back because wasn't
Yeah.
like because curses will eventually grow back,
Mm-hmm.
like because they're born out of the fear of various things. Like he is born out of people's fear of other people, so in due
Right.
time he should be back just naturally, as we saw the
Yeah.
cockroach curse or something like that during the culling games, where it was able to speed up the coming back process. So that I thought that was a nice thing we got to see of a curse actually returning. Usually, like generally, I think it takes longer, but that one was able to kind of speed that process up. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Although I kind of expect Mahito will be back in like a long time. Like it'll be a long time before he's back. Probably not like relevant to the story.
Why is that though? Why would it take the fear of humans to be to take so long?
I guess it would have
I
to
guess we.
build up. Like I don't know. I'm really just kind of
Mm,
headcanoning a little bit here, but like
well, I think you're probably not far off, but I mean, we have like you said, we have the cockroaches. And
yeah.
are people afraid of cockroaches, or are they just grossed out by them? Yeah, I feel like there's a difference.
I guess both. But
Fair. Anyway, I'm nitpicking here, but
yeah.
yeah, I think that's all I can say really in terms of potential characters coming back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think they're dead.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's probably the same with Nobara.
Right. Realistically, probably, most likely.
Yeah.
But I have then one other question sort of tied to this. Out of the so in the last volume, in the coming volume, who will die? Who are the ones that you think are going to die? Which characters?
Maybe 2 or 3 discussions ago, I was pretty adamant that Megumi would die,
Oh
but
yeah.
like sacrifice himself. But
Hmm.
I'm on the Megumi will live train. I
Mm-hmm.
like your idea of Yuji sacrificing himself, but I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Fair enough.
Sukuna will die. I think Unume will die.
Hmm.
I could see Angel dying, Kurusu dying,
I see.
because Sukuna retaliates.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think Toto will die. I think
No.
he'll remain.
Yeah. So then,
Yeah.
to recap, your three death predictions were Sukuna, Uraume, and Kurusu.
Yeah. Those are my 3.
I also have three death predictions, and those are Sukuna, Uraume, same as you, as well as obviously Yuji, as I said before.
Got it.
So those are my death predictions.
Okay. But we're at 3. So
We're both at three. Two bad guys and one good guy.
right.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for the last volume.
Right. Yeah. Let's hurry finish so I can go read it.
Right. Oh yeah, you'll be able to do that right away.
Right, because I have the digital chapters on the Shonen Jump app.
Oh yeah.
So, but I don't get the cool physical stuff, like finding out that Grandpa is actually Sukuna's twin.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yep. Crucial stuff, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently.
Well then, before we end this episode, who was your star of this volume?
I will mention Toto because I did really appreciate his entrance and how he came in, and probably would have been the star if it wasn't for Yuta coming in as Gojo. I think it's just bar none the most jaw dropping moment
Yeah.
in this finale so far. I mean, there's been a lot of jaw dropping moments. I mean, obviously the Gojo fight, but this one was just
Uh-huh.
the mad lad Yuta doing anything he can to defeat Sukuna.
Mm.
And yeah, so because of that and his determination and some of the quotes I said earlier, I made Yuta my star.
Lovely. And yeah, I was also really torn between the same two. I think, yeah, as I said before, Yuta's part was really the thing that blew me away the most, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But just because I am such a big Todo fan,
Yeah.
I had to go with Aoi Todo as my star for this volume because it was awesome to see him back, and
I respect
yeah,
it.
I couldn't. I enjoyed it so thoroughly.
And he had a lot of great fighting moments or like the battle
uh-huh.
throughout this volume. with him in it was really good.
It was so good, and I love how it built on the previous fighting scene that he had during the Shibuya incident, and kind of just built on that and made it like even grander. Kind of, it was so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, dear listeners, let us know your star for this volume, and if you don't know what's coming, what are your predictions? But please no spoilers. We are so close now.
Yeah.
And also, if there's anything that we should know that we don't know, because there certainly are things like that, either if we've forgotten or if we've missed some things, feel free to enlighten us in the comments as well. But yeah, now I'm just excited for the finale.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yup. And with that all said, if you enjoy our podcast, please share it with your friends. You'll find links to our social media in the description, and you can support us by rating our show on the podcast platforms and subscribing to our channel, Umami Manga, on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time when we'll talk about Volume 30. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Welcome one and all to Umami Manga. I'm Petter, and this is James.
Hello!
And today we're talking
Sorry.
about... Wait, would you want to do that over?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, it's just, allergies.